It's a 12-inch session. Yeah. Ha. It's the 12-inch. Yeah. The 12-inch session.
Alright, so we're here when it's time to groove video with my man Dylan Rhymes. He's here representing for, what label you with now?
Lot 49, which is my label.
What's the newest release you guys have had going on?
At the moment we've got a couple of releases. We've got my last single, which is called I Am Sweet, which has got loads of remixes. We've got a Control Z remix of that, really good breaks mix, doing really well. A couple of guys actually from North Carolina that have done a remix, like a really cool breaks mix, Stephen Cole and Matthew McCurry. It's really busy, man. You know, we got a lot of stuff. We're all working on a new album at the moment, like a Lot 49 5-year album.
Like a collaboration album?
Yeah, so everyone's doing 1 or 2 tracks or remixes of old stuff, and kind of also we've got 12, 13 fresh new tracks. About halfway done, so it should be kind of ready for like September.
So is this going to be like a double disc or strictly digital?
Maybe strictly digital.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do a few things on the CD now. Like we've got Lee Coombs' album coming out this year.
How did you actually get into the industry?
Well, basically, I've been doing this now for just over 20 years. I got into it through some friends of mine that were promoters and doing parties, and they asked me to DJ, and I wasn't really kind of digging the DJing thing, but I always had like my decks, and I had like a 808 drum machine, and then I kind of just started building like my studio, but 909 and 303, and kind of went sort of the old school acid way, came in through the acid house scene.
So like as far as like doing performances DJing then versus now, and having to embrace the whole digital MP3 wave, like how has that impacted the way that you play?
Well, obviously, like now I play digitally anyway. Gone are the days of carrying around 2 or 3 record bags and boxes and smashing them into your legs and busting yourself up.
Hoping that they make the destination.
I love it now because you can have thousands of records on your laptop. You can still spin. You can still if you want to use Trax or Serato or whatever you use or Ableton, you can still spin over shit over the top. And I can carry thousands of tracks with me. I'm never short of a tune. When you used to carry your record bag, you'd be like, if only I'd have bought that old classic record that I used to play 4 years ago, because you've got all your current stuff with you. Now you don't have that problem. I love it, man. I embrace it. Every bit of new technology or something to help you, that's cool with me.
What we deal with, I think, especially in the EDM culture, it's supposed to be a representation of future music.
Yeah.
And it's like if you can't embrace the element that's going to help your music go to the future,
then you're holding it back. You're not pushing it forward.
Yeah, exactly. So, take those small steps. It's worth it. I think so.
20 feet.
How do you think that impacts the quality of what's in the market? Because a lot of people will say, well, now, especially with a music studio in every home, every DJ or producer is making tunes and trying to put them out.
It's another thing that's not really a problem to us, because we kind of like, the cream rises to the top. That's what we always say at our label, If you're doing good stuff, people will buy it. You will be able to maintain a good, sales base on it, and it doesn't really affect anything. I mean, the only problem it has is it's a lot harder for a lot of people that are new into the scene to kind of, go through all these new tracks that are coming out on Beatport every week. There's like 2,000 electro tunes, 1,000 break tunes. So they've got, if they don't know your name, they haven't been, introduced to your stuff directly, and they're just looking to see what they want to hear and what's good. It's very difficult for them to find, some good stuff. But the people that know. And you just got to kind of expand on that sort of database and kind of introduce the new kids as best you can through blogs and online promotion. And, just got to work it that way, man.
Yeah. Well, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head as far as like accepting the MP3 status, and that is like, it's really cool to accept the idea of expansion, because like you talk about licensing work you're doing, music for television shows, commercials, movies, and so on and so forth. What's really cool, I think, about the MP3 world is that it allows your music to work as more of a universal business card.
Yeah,
so if people are just downloading it, okay, cool. Well, now you're showcasing for me. Yeah. I appreciate that. Hands down to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hallelujah.
So that's a lot of promotion that you wouldn't normally get, and I'm definitely all for that. Promoters and DJs. Let's talk about promoters for a second. And this is not about like bashing them, but from an industry standpoint and from an artist standpoint, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement. Being a person that's been able to travel to numerous cities and numerous countries, what are some things that you think would be helpful for more promoters to do?
Well, I mean, most of the promoters book DJs off the back of the music they like and they're playing, because most promoters are playing their own parties and DJing anyway. America tends to be a lot more open-minded. Europeans tend to be very kind of narrow-minded. You know, if they're into the French house scene, they book French house DJs. That's it. They won't step outside of that. That's why I like coming here. You know, it's like come to San Francisco. You know, I played on Saturday night. The place was like, I mean, there's like about 1,000 people up at Mission Rock. It was banging. You know, I was playing like techno records, house records, like break stuff, like techie breaks, all sorts, just mashing it up, and they were just going crazy for it. Just wanted to hear some good, like, vibrant music, and you know, and they were getting off on it. But I've been booked for like at breaks events, and because I don't play solely breaks, people, the promoters afterwards have said, "Oh, you didn't play much breaks." And I'm like, "Well, you know, you've had my mix CD, you know, you've heard what I do, you know what music I make. You told me you like the music I make. It's not all breaks. So why are you now coming saying I didn't play much breaks? I mean, what if, you know, you play your set, let me play mine, you know?"
Right.
But you don't get that so much in the States. People just tend to be like, "Oh, I really enjoyed that. It was really cool," you know.
They book you
nice
for you.
good tunes. Yeah, you know, and ask you what the tunes were, and, you know, really interested in what music you're making. So it's all good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what does that mean as far as like up and coming DJs?
Music's the key in getting tracks out there. You know, if you have a big record, you're gonna instantly be able to get work, and then you'll be able to get an agent, and they're gonna put you out there. But like we said earlier, with bazillion tracks coming out every week on every like MP3 download site, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but you just got to stick at it. You know, it's time. You know, you can't rush these things. I mean, you know, I wasn't really doing a lot of DJing up until probably like 6 years ago, really. So 15 years had gone by, and I really hadn't really done a lot of DJing. I was doing bits here and there, but I was always in the studio producing. And then it's only been the last 6 years that, you know, as sales have kind of started to come down a bit, it's become more important for me to go out and substitute the income with the DJing. And then I found a new love for other people's music. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd be a hip hop fan, electro fan, and then over the years of just being in the studio and making my own music, you kind of get a little bit used to what you do. But last 6 years, like, I'm really loving it, and I think it makes your music sound 10 times better as well.
It's funny though to kind of take a couple steps back, because we were talking about promoters being kind of tunnel vision, and I've just seen it escalate so much over the last, like, it's funny you should say 6 years, like 5 to 6 years within the States, that promoters were also complaining about, oh, the crowd is so fickle, they only like what they like. And I just think it's funny because it's like the promoters, and there's a great handful of promoters that are very influential for how the States, you know, run the club scene, are only booking the same acts. Of course the crowds are going to be fickle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, you know, it's the end of the equation. You know, if you're putting those two elements together, you know, that's what's going to happen. So, you know, definitely everybody's got to try to keep an open mind. I think the artists as well as the promoters.
Definitely, and then a friend of mine, he always says, like, when it comes to playing music and crowds, he's got a pretty good kind of reasoning behind what he does. He says he tends to give the crowd half of what they want and then half of what they need.
What's the next move for you guys? Where are you guys going from here?
I'm going back home on tomorrow, and then I mean, we've just taken on a new guy who works for us now, who basically just does all of our events. So he basically does all Lot 49 branded events. 5 cities in the UK now, we're doing bi-monthly residencies, and we're kind of expanding outside into different countries now. So just concentrating on that.
You talked about the collaboration album. When do you expect for that to?
That's hopefully going to be out in September. We should be finished like June, July. It should be all wrapped up, and then it should be out for release in September.
Okay.
So, yeah,
okay.
Looking forward to that.
Word up. New tunes from Lot 49.
You know it.
The 12-inch session right here. WITTGR.podomatic.com. Dylan Rhymes in the cut. Yo, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, man. Showing love for the community. That's what it's all about, man. See, Bugs always talk about what does it take to make it in the industry. I'll tell you, be cool. If you be cool with people, people will be cool with you. Okay? That's the way it goes. Show the love.
Show the love.
It's a 12-inch session.